Hello everyone, WolfieCast here, or just Wolfie if you prefer, with another Hero Basics tutorial, where I take a hero in Gigantic and tell you exactly what their abilities do. No upgrades, no talents, nothing special, just as they come when what their abilities do. So this time we are here with Beckett. Beckett is a ranged damage hero who is all about using the big guns and the big abilities to do just a lot of damage to people that she's hitting. So she's all about just the pure DPS, and that's really about it, honestly. But it's very fun. It's pretty practical. It's fairly simple to understand, but there are a lot of little nuances about it. So let's get into it. First and foremost, I think the most important thing to go over actually is her Q, which is called Swap Weapon. It's a 3-second cooldown ability that swaps between her dual machine pistols and her cannon. So the cannon, kind of see this animation, she kind of merges her two pistols into this singular cannon. The cannon has 3 shots that have a projectile that do very solid impact damage. I believe it says, 235. Which is a lot. Obviously, the damage is reduced a little bit as I attack Gnosis, because again, every character has a set amount of armor, so the impact damage is going to do a little bit less than actually shown in the description. And then if you hit Q again, she goes back to her pistols, and it alternates between these two weapons every single time. Her pistols have 30 ammunition, and they are hit scan, but they have a shorter range distance than the cannon. So if I go all the way back here, I actually can't hit Gnosis from this distance, despite, my crosshair being near him. And I'll get a little closer. Yeah, so there's a good amount of distance here, but not as much as the cannon. If I swap over the cannon and fire from here, I can hit him. However, you can see that it's not instant, which means it's not a hit scan weapon, it's a projectile. So that one you actually have to aim a little bit better, kind of aim ahead of your target. And obviously, at a certain distance, if you're pretty point blank, like right here to this Motiga, then of course, obviously, the need to aim becomes a little less necessary because there's much less travel time. But just important to keep in mind, pistols are hit scan, cannon is not. Cannon is a projectile. And we've basically already gone over her left mouse button, which is just to fire her weapons. So you fire a weapon until you get out of ammunition, and then you have this kind of short reload time before you can fire again. So, in all honesty, Beckett is kind of designed to, just switch between her pistols and cannon with every kind of empty of her clip. So I kind of go through my 30 shots here. I can press Q right away. I instantly have my 3, cannons to fire. I can switch right back. I'm fully reloaded. And it's interesting because Beckett does not have like a button. In other shooter games, kind of like that look like this, there's a reload button that just kind of happens when you want to. So if I use some of this clip here, I don't have a button that I can just press to reload. She just reloads after a certain delay of not attacking, which can honestly just take longer than either just switching the weapon or emptying the clip. So, to each their own. I personally think just switching weapon is just much higher damage per second because, you're instantly getting that full clip and then you can just switch and keep moving around. Next up is Beckett's right mouse button ability, which is just Grenade. It is a 15-second cooldown that throws a grenade, and after a short delay, it explodes in a fairly large radius to damage everything nearby. So, throw it out, it explodes, deals damage, deals 325 damage pre-armor mitigation, and it's a pretty solid burst tool. The important thing about this is to kind of realize that it has this sort of arc. So, if I were a good distance away like I was before and I just kind of throw it that way, see, it just kind of hits the ground there. So from that distance you have to aim it a bit higher, kind of see how the arc flies and figure out from there. But coming back from cooldown, we'll try that again. And just aim a bit higher. And yeah. And that's much better. But see, after just a short delay, and it's actually deceptively large. Like the The animation particle effect doesn't actually look like it's that large, but if I throw it like, if I say throw it like right there, like that's still hit Nasus. You know, there's a faintly visible blue ring that you may or may not have saw there. That's the effective area of the space. So, you know, the grenade actually is much larger than it appears. So keep that in mind. And Beckett's final basic ability is called Jetpack. Once you activate it, you get a jetpack for 4 seconds, which allows you to jump again while you're in midair. So you lift off, you can hit your jump key, you fly one more time, you land, you can jump. And if you kind of get to a point where you can land at a higher ledge, you can actually just refresh your jumps. But it's a 20-second cooldown, so fairly long. It's really her only kind of mobility option, so it's important to keep this in your back pocket until you actually need to use it. Let's see, if I jump here, jetpack, jump again, I land here, I can jump again, and you have those jumps. But once you jump once in midair, you can't jump again until you land. But otherwise, it's very useful. It's kind of gives her that super high vantage. So if I kind of attack, I do my jetpack, kind of jump again. I'm kind of kind of getting yourself out of melee range of these possible attackers. All right, and finally there's Beckett's focus, which is called Airstrike. Tooltip says drops 3 missiles in the target area. Each focus point increases the damage per missile, starting at 250 and scaling all the way up to 400 damage per missile pre-mitigation. So, fairly wide range, large area. And when I actually use it instead of letting it expire, you see these missiles, bam! A lot of damage in a very large area. And this is a focus that you want to use basically all of the time. So, quickly kind of show you how fast you can regain this, because Beckett has crazy damage output, so she gains her focus pretty freaking quickly. Empty out the clip, switch out the gun, fire, 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 switch clips again, or switch weapons again, have a full clip ready. And, I just wanted to end Nasus with the gun there. Ult Matigo spawns. And she actually, has crazy crit damage, or crit ramp up too. Oops, sorry. Because she's just constantly doing so much damage. And see, I already have my focus again. Launch it again. Each one doing a little less than, obviously, the 3-tier focus, but still doing a ton of damage. But that's Beckett. Very simple to understand. Very, very focused on the just pure damage aspect of this side of the game. And even in her upgrades, she really doesn't provide too much utility aside from something on her grenade. She's just all about the damage, and you know what? That's perfectly fine, because sometimes that's really what you need. But that's Beckett. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed, once again, be on the lookout for a future Beckett deep dive, as well as future installments of this basic series as we just move down the line of every character. But thank you for watching. Have a good afternoon. And see you in the next one.